Your sexy safety goggles.
Go away. Having a moment with the van project.
Oh, okay. Welcome to week 4 of our Sprinter Van Conversion series with us, Mr. and Mrs. Adventure.
We're doing a little song as we do this. To the wow, to the wow, to the sweat drop down my...
That's not how it goes. I don't think Drew could be gangster with that mustache, even if he tried. Remix. After 4 weeks of working on our van, we are well on our way to adventuring into the great unknown once again, and we seriously can't wait. Everything from rock climbing, hiking, trail running, kite surfing, paddleboarding, and biking, we are so ready after 3 years of being in Europe to sink our teeth into all the adventures that this continent has in store for us this time. And speaking of biking, in this episode, we're going to show you just how we made one of the most beautiful / functional slide-out bike racks that van life dreams are made of. After having lived in 4 different vans, we'll put a link to our playlist of van tours below. We wanted to make sure to include the few key features that we've always known are a must for us. And having experienced the struggle of a non-sliding under-the-bed bike storage situation, followed by our ever-so-creative hanging bike rack in the Howler, the upgrade to a sliding bike rack definitely made the cut.
Here's the bicycles hanging up through the fruit basket.
We even have little hooks for the helmets.
That's right.
And thanks to an awesome guide by Far Out Ride, we knew exactly what to do to build the indoor sliding bike rack of our dreams.
Kind of looking at your guys' dimensions, trying to come up with what the size is that we should use, and I see you have 60 inches long by 19 inches wide. And I got to try to figure out how that's going to look sitting back here. The blue line's 70 inches. I measured our bikes. We need a tray that's about 12 inches wide roughly, which I might go 1 inch big in case we change bikes or want to get something else done. Or different bikes, fat tires, who knows what we'll do. We're crazy. If we go 13 inches wide by 55 inches long, we'll be all set. So I'm going to get my measurement, my ruler, my pen, my square, and get marking out on the plywood out here. Goggles on, saws out, let's go.
With his tools, a 1x3-inch board, and a sheet of 1/2-inch ply that he found in the workshop, Drew was ready to get to work.
Bike tray, it's coming along. It's got 3 sides. I left the one open so that way we can push out the dust and dirt that falls off the bikes. It's looking fly.
With the bike tray complete, it was time to lacquer everything up and start laying the groundwork for the 48-inch locking extension slides. Putting a final layer of polyurethane on our beautiful and shiny bike tray, which is just about complete.
One bike tray coming up.
With the final screw in place, it was time to load the bikes and make sure they fit under the 36-inch raised platform for our bed. Success! Next, Drew drilled the final holes in the steel brackets that he so brilliantly repurposed for our bed platform.
Look at these brackets. They're so thin, it allows for maximum space above the bed as well as below it. Look at that one more time. Replay. Quality bike rack right there. Engineered to perfection.
And the nifty fork mounts that you see here, Those are secured into a block of wood because otherwise, with a tray as narrow as ours, the fork access wouldn't be able to clear the sides of the tray to easily lock and unload our bikes. Like so. And while Drew had been working so hard to get our sliding bike tray complete, I was working on a few tasks of my own, like sanding the wood around our windows before somehow filling the not-so-ideal gaps between our walls, which you guys offered some great advice for in the comments on last week's video. And I somehow managed to drag Drew to Joann's Fabrics with me to help decide on our color motif for the window covers and upholstery inside our van. For covering our Reflectix window covers, maybe. We like linen a lot for the area in between the cab and the living space. We're also hoping to create a curtain between the bed and the living space for when I go to sleep early and if Drew stays up late, and if I wake up early and Drew sleeps in late. Also thinking of the windows to cover in the very back of the van, the slider, we're gonna want tension rod curtains in another area, so there's like lots of stuff going on and our brains are kind of like, pew!
What you got?
Cloth.
Look at all that fun stuff.
Some major decisions today. We had no idea what our cloth was going to be like.
What's our theme?
Nature. Earth. Have I mentioned that I've never sewn anything other than a pair of PJ pants before? Sewing made easy. Let's hope that they're right. And then we got one of the most unusually exciting deliveries yet. Our custom glitterized urine separator for our compost toilet. Is this not the most beautiful loo that you've ever seen? I almost can't believe it. This is a custom glitter order from our friends at Kildwick, all the way in England. They gave us a free upgrade. Usually it's just a white plastic one for this same price. Who's not going to be happy using this? And then we received something that we had been waiting for what felt like forever. Oh yeah, a very exciting moment here.
We've been waiting a very, very, very long time to get solar panels for our van. Really wanted solar panels for the last 3+ years. It's finally here.
Tell me, what kind of solar panels do we have?
We got the compact design 100-watt solar panels from Renogy.
How many of them?
3, so we'll have 300 watts total.
Your hair looks like you just got electrocuted by solar. That's how excited you are.
I am excited for these. Babe, I need your help.
And as Drew began diving into the wild world of solar, I was happy to help in whatever way I could.
I need a solar panel.
Okay.
You're a great helper.
These puppies are serious. With one hand?
Yeah.
Having learned an innovative technique from Van Kooks that helped us solve the problem of not drilling more holes into our van roof, we assembled a sequence of bolts, washers, and spacers that would then slide into the existing rooftop rails on either side of the van, so that a 1-inch aluminum rail could be fastened and ultimately hold our 3 solar panels in place. And after measuring the width of our roof, we decided to organize our 3 panels around our front hatch. That way we could leave as much room as possible for the rooftop yoga/sunset deck that Drew will be building in next week's video.
It is a party in the garage. I got all the solar laid out on the floor, all the bits, bobs, the connectors, all the bolts I put together a bit earlier just because I want to make sure that everything is here for assembly. And I've been up on top of the roof measuring in order to cut the homemade aluminum racks that I'm making here, because if I assemble it on the roof it would be really complicated, and this way I can just make sure everything fits beforehand. So I've been up there on the roof measuring, down here fitting everything. I'll see you back on the roof. See this little part right here? That's for a weatherproof cap over the Max Fan air vent, and I decided that I need to shave those off in order to make the solar panel fit. So right now I got the Dremel out and I am shaving these off.
Almost ready to get this solar show on the roof, Drew then drilled holes to attach the brackets that would hold the solar panels to the aluminum rail. Pro tip, use a piece of wood to protect the panel from the drill.
Man, I should have known everything was too good to be true. Everything was going so seamless on this installation, putting my brackets on to my homemade bars, until I got to the point that I was going to use their screws. And as you can see, these are like 1.25" screws that are going to go right past and through my piping. No good.
After another quick run to Ace to get the proper number 12 3/4" screws, Drew was back in action.
Oh man, Solar. Whew. You were a lot of work to get up that ladder. Say goodbye to the ground because this is going to be your new home. It's on. First one is on. It looks freaking rad. I'm really pleased with how this is looking. The dimensions came out good. I made it in about 55 inches in width. It looks really good from the sides when you're down low. The last part I gotta do is drill a hole for the cable that will go down through into the van. Whew. This solar project has been a lot of fun, but it's just taking way more time like most projects. Crap. I don't have a connector cable from the third panel to run all the panels in parallel and connect them into a 3.1 cable, which then will run through the adapter cable down to the solar controller inside the vehicle. But good thing I bought a 20-foot adapter cable. So what I'm going to do is actually trim off about 3 feet of that, and I bought some MC4 connectors by Renergy for adapting to the connectors they have that are waterproof outside on the van. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down, get these connected at both ends, one for positive, one for negative, and then I can run them from the other part of the roof to where they all need to connect together. So luckily I have some extra bits and bobs and I can make this work. Got my wire stripper. And there she is. That's how you strip a piece of cable. 10 gauge wire right there. I just finished making my cables. I'm like super proud of them. Look at those bad boys. Those came out excellent. I got a male to male and now I just gotta make a female to female. Here's what we got under the solar panels. Check this out. I got the adapters I created running from the third panel all the way along here with some zip ties holding it. And then our parallel adapters for 300 watts. I stuck screws in to hold those up into the panel themselves. I don't want them jiggling loose on the roof of the van. And then I'm going to be drilling a hole right here that will then route through down to the control unit. I took a look at the measurement off the window and where this beam and support is, because I definitely don't want to hit that, and should be coming down somewhere right in here, so we'll see what happens. Here we go again, another crazy moment. I'm about to drill through the van again. It's terrifying every time, it never gets easier. Moment of truth right there, I just put the drill through the ceiling of the van. Wow, my first look at it. There it is, exactly where I hoped. Right along this seam, not near the supports. So, bam! Oh, that feels good. Just made a pilot hole, and now it's time for the big boy. I think my battery's dead. I'll be back. There's a lot of insulation down there.
And finally, the time had come to put some rust barrier around our new hole before feeding our wire through and securing the waterproof cable housing with self-leveling sealer. We love sharing the progress of our future rolling home with you. And if you haven't already, we invite you to subscribe so you can join us for our weekly van build episodes. Next week, we'll be finishing up with solar, talking about our layout, building our first wall, and Drew will be getting back on the roof to build me my dream VanLife yoga deck. We're so stoked to be sharing all of the transformation and learning with you. Until next time, remember to make the most of this life and follow us on Instagram at Mr. and Mrs. Adventure. See you next week.